Good afternoon, thank you very much and welcome here to the Rag in County Tipperary for round 3 of the Centra National Camogie League for 2026, the meeting of Tipperary and Galway. It is Saturday the 7th of March, and as we hit the midway point of this year's Division 1A campaign, it's getting very, very critical for a lot of teams, including the visitors today, the All-Ireland champions Galway, looking for their first victory in 3 games, while Tipperary, who hold a great record against the Maroon during the league, especially in this venue, have one victory already against Antrim, went down to Kilkenny in their last game. Can they get a second result? I'm Darren Kelly, joined in the commentary box by Galway's 1996 All-Ireland winning captain Imelda Hobbins. And Imelda, Tipperary and Galway have a good record against Tipperary in the championship, but in the league the Premier County have dominated this fixture the last couple of years.
Oh, absolutely, I even remember a cracker of a game there a couple of years ago in Ballinasloe as well, in a home ground where Tipperary edged out on Galway. I suppose it's always a great game down through the years, and even in championship, and you think back, and looking at both teams here as well, Darren, there's a good line out on both sides of the strong team. So Galway obviously will be hungry for a win, as you said earlier on there. They need to get a win. Tipperary are getting off to a great start in the league, so I'd say both teams will be up to try and get a victory here today.
Both teams line out as selected, so we'll run through the 2 teams first. We'll start with the hosts from Tipperary, and this is the way they line out there today. Their Thurles Sarsfields players are back after their own team holiday. Anya Slattery from Shannon Rovers is in goal. A full-back line of Mary Burke from Drummond. Her clubmate Mairead Evanston is at number 3, and Emer Lokman from Clonulty Rossmore is at number 4. The half-back line, where number 5 is Sarah Corcoran from Moycarkey Boris. The captain, this new captain this year, is Quiva McCarthy from Knockvilla Dunshkey, while Celine Guinan from Shannon Rovers is at 7. In midfield were number 8, last year's captain Karen Kennedy from Thurles Sarsfields. She's joined by Quiva Maher from Burgess Tahara in her 14th season representing Tipperary. The half-forward line, 10, Eva Dwyer from Thurles Sarsfields. 11, Amy Quinlisk from Kilruan McDonough's, and Clodagh McIntyre from Laura Dora is at number 12. And the inside line, Quiva Stakelum from Thurles Sarsfields at 13, Emer McGrath from Drummond at 14, and Grace O'Brien from Nina Era Oak at 15. Imelda, we look at that Tipperary team, we'll compare them to last year's championship side in a moment, but the big name back this year is Emer McGrath. She missed out in the inter-county season last year due to a cruciate injury.
That's right, and in fairness, I suppose it's the thing, it's a worry that in Camogie has all these cruciate injuries, so it's great to see her back. And like I said, Tipperary are coming strong here today, Darren, and all these extra players coming back is obviously a bonus
for Tipperary as well. Let's look at Galway. They've made 4 changes from their defeat to Waterford last week. They had their own team holiday recently and struggled to get home from New York. They only arrived back a few days before the last game against Waterford. This is their starting team. Sarah Healy from St Thomas's in goal. Full back line of 2, Rachel Hannafy of Ormore Mary, 3, Roisin Black also from Ormore Mary, and 4, Derva Higgins from Athenry. The half back line were number 5, Katie Manning from Mulla at 5, Ciara Hickey from Davids at 6, Katie Anna Porter also from Davids at number 7. In midfield were number 8 is Jennifer Hughes from Carnmore, and she's partnered by the captain number 9, Carrie Dolan from Clarenbridge. The half forward line were number 10, Niamh Mallon from Sarsfields, Lee McPeak from Lee Mellows, and Aoife Donoghue from Mulla. And the inside line, Shannon Corcoran from Sarsfields at 13, Niamh Nyland from Clarenbridge at 14, and Quiva Kelly from Sarsfields at 15. Melda, again, some players working their way back into this team with Sarah Healy and Derva Higgins for Galway. Their return, welcome for Galway's charges.
Exactly, Sarah Healy back there in goals, and of course Derva Higgins there after the club championship, I suppose, lining out today as well at number 4. You could probably see a change there with Derva. He might decide to bring her out the field as well, but again, Galway there coming out there is strong as well. Carrie Dolan, I wonder, will she start midfield? As of late, I suppose Cathal Murray has been playing her up front, so it'll be interesting to see what way they actually line out.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. She played full forward against Kilkenny. I believe she played half forward against Waterford last week. But this is the Galway team getting ready for the game. The throws in here at the Rag at 3 o'clock. We'll run through the match official in a moment as we wait for the captains to go up there. And Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny will be the person in the middle. But one result we have in Imelda, Waterford have beaten Antrim by 115 to 9 points. Now, Antrim produced the shock of probably this millennium in beating Cork 2 weeks ago in round 2. But Waterford now, that is 3 wins out of 3. And they were in touching distance of making the league final.
Oh yeah, you can see very much that Waterford are making a statement this year, and again, I suppose they've no more than Tipperary. They've been knocking on the door as well, in the last couple of years. So I suppose, it'll be interesting to see there how it goes now with Waterford as well.
It'll be interesting to see, and there's another game taking place at 2 o'clock. By the way, if you want to watch back Waterford and Antrim, it is available on the Camogie Association YouTube page in association with Entry, who are providing this match coverage here from the Rag today. Cork are leading Kilkenny by 8 points to 27, 5 minutes into the second half. And Imelda, we just talk about the two teams before we go. With Galway, as we mentioned, 2 defeats from 2 games. It's a bit hard to think really, but if Galway were to lose this game today and they don't have a good record in the rag of the league, as we mentioned already, they will be finding themselves in a relegation dogfight.
Yeah, which is, I suppose it is a shock, you come through as All-Ireland champions, but it just shows, I suppose, it's a new year and there's, everybody is getting hungry as well, and like I said, Tipperary are going to be up here for a win today, so Galway are going to have it all to do. Yeah,
Tipperary will have ambitions of making the league final too. Of course, their win in 2024 in the league decider, they won by 113 to 15 points against Galway. Emer McGrath got 8 points that day. Karen Kennedy scoring 1-3 in that contest. Tipperary will have ambitions later in the year, no different to Galway, no different to all the teams that are playing Division 1A. We have a Rona Fiend, we'll talk about that in a moment. A beautiful rendition of a Rona Fiend to get us ready for the start of Tipperary against Galway in round 3 of the Centra National Camogie League. And Mel, we were just talking about Tipperary as the teams get themselves ready. It was their only trophy they've won in the last 20 years on a national scale. They have Munster titles to their name, so while their ambitions might be later in the year and trying to get to an All-Ireland final, they will still put a lot of value into winning a league title.
Oh, absolutely, and in fairness, the league is where you build for the championship, and Tipperary, I know, will take this league very serious. You probably will see, and even on both sides today, that will be using the panels, there will be players coming on, they will be trying out different positions, and that's what it happens in the league. But if you can start getting a winning momentum into a team there and going into a championship, that's what it's all about.
And that's what it's about here today, because whoever loses this game will find it difficult. Well, Galway certainly will be out of the league final hunt. Tipperary will find it difficult to get back there with 2 defeats, and of course we'll keep an eye what's happening between Cork and Kilkenny. Another important game, because no different talking about Galway, but also talking about Cork after that defeat against Antrim, could possibly getting sucked into a relegation dogfight too. It would be hard to believe if the 2 All-Ireland finalists, the last 2 winners of the O'Duffy Cup, were fighting to avoid relegation in the final round.
Yeah, absolutely, and again, I suppose it just draws back to, is it just that, after a long championship last year, is it just that they're slower coming back into it for the league? Maybe again, Cork are trying out new players, maybe they have girls missing as well, so, I still think it'll be a different thing come championship.
We'll have a look there at the teams as they're getting themselves organised at the moment. As we were told, both sides line out as selected. Haven't seen any major change on Tipperary so far in the attack, which is looking at the defenders there too. No doubt they'll be waiting to see what Galway do as well, as both teams eye each other up for such an important game. As we mentioned, Tipperary unbeaten in 4 consecutive games against Galway in the National League. As we get everybody getting themselves ready to go, and there's a couple of positional switches in the Galway defence. Katie Manning has gone back to full-back, Derva Higgins has come out to wing-back, the ball is thrown in, the game is on, and the midfielders as you were for both teams, and it's Tipperary who take possession in the early stages of the National Camogie League. They're attacking the goal to the left. As we look at it in the commentary box, they have the win in the first half, and it's Katie Manning against Cueva Stakelum. Cueva Stakelum captained Ursuline Turles in the All-Ireland Post-Primary Schools final last week. It wasn't a good day for them. Loretto Kilkenny comprehensive winners of the contest, but she did score 1-4 in the opening game against Antrim, and it's another bright talent coming through in Tipperary.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and you can just see that, that Tipperary here already, they're buzzing around in the forwards, so Galway are going to have to obviously tighten up.
Eamon McGrath, we mentioned at the start, just in case you're not aware, for those watching our stream, it's 2 points for a sideline cut in Camogie. She didn't go for the shot that time, tries to send it in towards the attack area and the Galway defence, and Derva Higgins, who won an All-Ireland club title with Attenry, gets the ball back to Sarah Healy. Healy, but Sarah Healy has dropped the ball and Tipperary nearly pounced, but it's Katie Manning again, her second or third possession in the early stages of the game, gives the ball to Ciara Hickey, the centre back, and Ciara Hickey back to Niamh McPeak, another player who was out last year due to a cruciate injury. She is back in the Galway setup, but Tipperary have the ball again. Clodagh McIntyre with possession. She's from the Laura Dore club. She went to school in Portumna, reaches the 45-metre line. Carrie Dolan, the Galway captain, trying to get a foot in there, trying to get a stick in there, but it's good work by Tipperary at the moment. It looks like they have the edge on this scrum, but they give back Ciara Hickey there as well for Galway. All the action happening on the Galway 45-metre line. For those of you listening on audio, Turva Higgins takes the ball, gives it back to Roisin Black, the former Galway captain, gets to the 45-metre line. The referee letting them off and play in the early stages of this game, but how long more will she before the ball is thrown in? Tipperary have possession of the ball. Cueva Stakelum gives the pass back to a teammate, and it's an effort at the post. It's gone over the bar, and as Mary Burke, who's come up the field, gets the opening score of the game. It's Tipperary a point, Galway no score.
Great work there, in fairness, by Tipperary. You can see Mary Burke was edging up the whole time. Probably a lot of play going on in the middle of the field. You'd wonder when Galway were coming out of defence that they didn't try work it out the win, but in fairness to Tipperary, they took a great score there, Darren.
Galway go for the short puck out in the direction of Rachel Hannafy, who's back in the... Actually, my apologies, it's Katie-Anna Porter who has the ball there and gets it towards her clubmate from Davids, Ciara Hickey. Ciara Hickey tries to get away, but good work by Tipperary and Amy Quinlisk, who only made her debut for Tipperary last year. Katie-Anna Porter with the ball for Galway, sends it down towards the attack in the direction of Niamh Mallon. The referee says that Niamh Mallon was fouled, and Galway will have an opportunity for a free just outside the 45-metre line, and this is a chance for Carrie Dolan, their top scorer, even though she only got 1 point in the game against Waterford. Niamh Mallon was taking the frees on that occasion. She has won 7 in the league so far. Niamh Mallon has won 5, and Carrie Dolan, we remember what she did in Croke Park in the All-Ireland final last August. Can she get Galway's opening score?
There's no better person, I suppose, in fairness, for Galway to stand over this now. She's a good distance. She's in front goal, though.
It gives an idea to see exactly the strength of the wind as well. It wasn't too bad when we did the scene set earlier on, but the ball has gone over the bar, and Carrie Dolan gets the opening score of the game for Galway. So it is now 1 point apiece after 3 minutes, and Galway will be happy just to get off the mark.
Yeah, and in fairness, I suppose that's the first time it went down that side of the field as well for Galway, so it's good for them to get a score.
Clodagh McIntyre wins the ball from the puck out, and Mary Burke is playing an advanced role, sends it down in the direction of Cueva Stakelum in the white helmet, wearing number 13. Galway getting defenders there, but Cueva Stakelum well able for the challenge from the Galway players. Has support from number 10, Aoife Dwyer, but you can see Jennifer Hughes there, who captained University of Limerick to an Ashburn Cup title last year, was there involved in the ball. Katie-Anna Porter takes possession, and Niamh McPeak with the ball gives it out to Aoife Donoghue, the player of the year, and Aoife Donoghue sends it down in towards the attack. The ball breaks away from one of the corner forwards. Niamh Nyland was there as well. She wears number 14, but Tipperary have turned the ball over out towards the right to Mary Burke in the yellow helmet, and Mary Burke there trying to get away from Niamh Nyland, sends it down the left, and Tipperary feel there's hate to be made on this flank, but Ciara Hickey says, I'll take that, thank you very much, and Ciara Hickey tried to get the ball away, but Clodagh McIntyre got in the challenge. Galway are claiming the ball should have been theirs. I'm not 100%, it is a Galway ball. I wasn't too sure what way the linesman was making the decision at the moment. Turva Higgins is going to leave the ball to Carrie Dolan to restart right in front of us here in the commentary box. The Galway captain, who plays for the Clarenbridge club, just looking for a good bit of ball. We have played 4.5 minutes of the Centra National Camogie League, 1 point apiece. If you just joined us on the Camogie Association YouTube page, and Carrie Dolan takes the ball, sends it down the direction of Aoife Donoghue, and Aoife Donoghue is up against Mary Burke. Maybe Mary's playing at wing back to curtail the influence of the Mulla wing forward. More support comes with the Premier County. The referee spots a chop down, free out for Tipperary.
And this game is lightning fast, Darren, in fairness. Both teams now, I suppose you can see the hunger in them.
Tipperary won their opening game, beating Antrim by 2-19 to 9 points. Suffered defeat in round 2 weeks ago when a bad start in the opening half. They were 11-2 down at half time. Kilkenny beat them by 15 points to 10. That's their one loss so far. Again, the ball. Cueva Stakelum is the target. The daughter of Conor, who won an All-Ireland with Tipperary in 1991. She puts the ball over the bar in the 5th minute. It's 2 points to 1 to Tipperary.
Yeah, in fairness to Cueva Stakelum, she found herself there, I suppose, pretty loose. She had a look. She said, I'm in the range, and she tipped it over the bar. I suppose as well now the breeze is rising here, Darren. It seems to be favouring Tipperary.
It's favouring Tipperary in the first half. What can they do with it? Sarah Healy restarting the action for Galway and sends a long drive down towards the middle of the field. Tipperary, and again Mary Burke getting bodies there, finds a teammate. It looks like it was Celine Guinan that sent the ball, and it just stays in play. Rachel Hanafy could take no chances there as Clodagh McIntyre gets in the mix as well, and Grace O'Brien wearing number 15 for Tipperary in the battle. Derva Higgins with a touch goes out over the line. It's going to be a Tipperary ball, but it's great to see the commitment. Not that we'd ever question it anyway, but the commitment from both teams. This might be round 3 of the National Camogie League, but you would swear this was latter stages of the
championship. Exactly. You can see the hunger as we spoke about, but both teams need a win. Both teams looking for it here today.
So it's going to be Emer McGrath to restart the action for Tipperary. She's calling a teammate over for the ball and tries to sell the dummy, sends it in towards the attack again. The target player is number 15, Galway, getting wise to that, and Rachel Hanafy has possession, just slightly overhits the pass to Derva Higgins, but Derva holds on to the ball as she's kept the ball in play. It looks like Marangel has eventually gone out, and the linesman again says it's a Tipperary ball, and Tipperary's pressure has paid off.
Absolutely. In fairness, I suppose to Derva Higgins there from Galway, she did her best to try and keep it in play.
Grace O'Brien to restart the action, and she's well capable of doing damage too for Tipperary. Emer McGrath, the top scorer for them this year, but Grace O'Brien took care of all the free taking duties last year when Emer McGrath was out. The referee spots a foul on Katie Manning, and Katie Manning is a player that's worked very, very hard in the early stages of the game.
And you have to say overall the Galway defence, they're under massive pressure here. Like we say, the Tipperary forwards got straight into this game and put huge pressure on Galway, and in fairness, I suppose the younger players there in the Galway team doing very, very well indeed.
So Sarah Healy is going to come out to take the free, the two-time All-Ireland Under-16 Puck Fada champion back in 2015 and 2016. And I remember her winning an All-Ireland Under-16 championship with Galway, playing as their full forward, scored 12 goals over the course of that campaign. Sarah Healy sends a long drive down towards the right-hand side of the field. A lot of action happening right in front of us here in the commentary box, and it's won by Caoimhe McCarthy, the Tipperary captain, but she gets slowed down there by Niamh Mallon. Niamh McPeak in the mix there as well. We're number 11, but the red helmet is Karen Kennedy, and Karen Kennedy nearly had the ball, and again both teams just fighting for everything. Turnovers are going to be very important in this game. Mary Burke along the ground sends it away from the danger area for now. Carrie Dolan looked like she was going to win the race for Galway, but she's up against her opposite number, Caoimhe Maher, wearing number 9 for Tipperary. There's another body in there as well. I think it's Amy Quinlisk fighting for Tipperary, and Mary Burke again, a player on the ground. We were talking with Katie Manning there at the moment. Mary Burke has been on as much ball in this match.
Yeah, she sure has. She's very anxious to come down the field as well to get her scores.
So the referee has decided he's going to throw the ball in. So we gave it a chance to catch our breath here after the opening 8.5 minutes of action. It's Tipperary 2 points, Galway 1. The referee has spotted a foul. It looks like it's going to be a Galway decision. And there'll be a chance now for Carrie Dolan, probably a bit out against the wind, but she might consider having a go at it.
Yeah, I'd say in fairness to her, she will go for it, but it's a good distance out, and again, it's like you say, against the breeze.
So Carrie Dolan just drops the ball when Carrie does the error from the 3-time All-Ireland winner, but she had the wherewithal to send the pass down in the direction of Niamh Nyland, her clubmate from Clarenbridge. Niamh Nyland sends it in there, but the Galway forwards missing in that occasion, and Tipperary will clear the ball out the field again. Derva Higgins nearly getting a touch there, but Clodagh McIntyre applying the pressure. The niece of John, who is the sports editor of the Connacht Tribune in Galway. Clodagh McIntyre on the move there now. She tries to go. They're calling for steps. Clodagh McIntyre's calling for the post. That ball is going to trickle out to the left and wide, first wide of the game.
Yeah, and in fairness to Clodagh McIntyre, she did get a jersey pulled there, but she actually got away and she was going straight for the score, but just probably unlucky. Just couldn't get a swing in. I think she was losing her balance as well there as she was striking.
She lost her balance there just as she was going for it, but just shows her threat. So we can tell you Cork are leading Kilkenny by 10 points to 8 with 18 minutes gone in the second half. The table in the Centra Camogie League is going to look very, very interesting this evening, but as things stand, Waterford are top of the table. Karen Kennedy has the ball, gives it to Caoimhe McCarthy, and Caoimhe McCarthy will go for a long range effort, but that one goes to the right and wide, 2 wides in a row for Tipperary.
Yeah, and I suppose in fairness, some of those, I know they have the breeze. They're probably saying that they're worried within range to get the score, but sometimes you're better off just to drop it into the forwards.
So we're waiting for Sarah Healy to restart the action for Galway. And that'll happen in just a moment. And indeed she goes with a short puck out to Roisin Black. Roisin Black passes across to Katie Manning. And Katie Manning now will move up towards the 45-metre line. Just misses the attempted pass to Ciara Hickey. Good interception again by Tipperary. Just getting in the way, not allowing Galway space. Ciara Hickey is penalised for taking too many steps. And you can hear there, Clodagh McIntyre, how much it meant. So determined to win that free. And it'll be an opportunity now for Emer McGrath to try and put two between them.
Yeah, and I suppose you can see Galway team plan there in defence. You know, it's they're working the sharp passes, they're trying to work it down the field. Probably a lot of that has to do that they're playing against the breeds as well. And I think Ciara Hickey, she just got bottled up there. But in fairness to Tipperary, you know, they did super work there and giving away the free.
Emer McGrath getting ready to go for the post. This will be her 10th point of this year's Centra Camogie League. If it goes over the bar, about 50 yards out, but with the win, she takes her time. She has her routine. She puts the ball over the bar. 11 minutes gone in this game. It's Tipperary 3 points, Galway 1.
Look at Emer McGrath, you know, to the player, I suppose, Dan, we've watched a long time playing for Tipperary. You know, she's very, very seldom. She doesn't produce the goods on the day. And, you know, again, they're a great score from her.
Tipperary happy to stand back and let Galway go for the short puck out. Sarah Healy plays a 1-2 with Roisin Black and drives the ball down towards the fields, but Tipperary get the bodies in the way in the middle of the park. Mary Burke was involved in all that again, but Galway look like they have control. Niamh McPeak tried to get it, but Karen Kennedy wins the ball back for Tipperary. The home side here in the rag plays a 1-2 with Amy Quinless, who looked like she was having her arm held. The ball comes down in the direction of Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien's surrounded by 3 Galway players. Good work by Galway, and Ciara Hickey wins the ball. Can she exploit a bit of space the far side of the field and try and get an opening score from playing this game? Not that the Tipperary defence have anything to say about it, because Caoimhe McCarthy takes the pass and she's moving up the field there again. She's already gone for an effort from distance. Will she have a go? Another one. Great hook on that occasion by Niamh Nyland, the Galway number 14, but Tipperary again getting the bodies in the way, and you can just see the battle there for the ball. And Liz Dempsey, the referee from Kilkenny, having a good look at what's going on. There's players on the ground there, but it's won by Roisin Black for Galway. Roisin Black with the pass to Aoife Donoghue. Aoife Donoghue getting away from Amy Quinless, and goes in a run to Aoife Donoghue, and she's moving down the left hand side of the field with control there, and Tipperary are standing off her as she's aboard. Takes the challenge on that occasion. I think it was from the fullback Mairead Evanston, but Tipperary have managed to turn the ball over. We'll get Imelda's thoughts on that in just a moment. Let's see what Tipperary do with this first, as the ball comes down again towards the space right in front of us. The bounce getting away from Grace O'Brien. Rachel Hannafay there, but Clodagh McIntyre takes the ball again for Tipperary. Clodagh McIntyre back to Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien, they're linking well, the number 12, the number 15 for Tipperary. There's Caoimhe Stakelum. She wasn't Caoimhe Stakelum, my apologies, it was Aoife Dwyer, but she gives the ball to Caoimhe Maher, and Caoimhe Maher puts the ball over the bar. Tipperary moving that ball down the field very, very well. Your thoughts there? Was there a foul originally there first? Either way, Tipperary worked up a good score.
Yeah, I thought I thought Aoife Donoghue would get her free there. She seemed to be going in. She seemed to have be carried in the ball. I thought that she was met strong by the Tipperary defence, but again, I suppose we're a bit far away here, Darren, for to be sure.
You can see Tipperary playing 2 players inside and just putting an extra body out in the middle of the park. Emer McGrath playing more as a centre forward, with Amy Quinless helping out the midfielder. That's the way the Tipperary are trying to exploit space, and so far so good for them. They lead by 4 points to 1. They've had 2 wides as well. Galway just struggling to create scoring chances. Niamh McPeak with the ball, but Karen Kennedy was never giving her any space on this, and Tipperary again at 1 possession. You have to admire how Tipperary have turned over so much ball, especially on the Galway midfield and half forward line.
Oh, absolutely. In fairness, Tipperary are dominating their half back line and at midfield. Galway can't seem to get the ball down, can't seem to break through, you know. And again, I suppose it's the game that Tipperary are playing. They're coming very much strong down the field. They're setting up their forwards, and in fairness, they're taking their scores very well.
Yeah, taking their scores. It's Celine Guinan, the number 7 for Tipperary, who's just down, might be receiving. I think there's 2 Tipperary players down at the moment, but Celine Guinan is the number 7. You might just see on your screen there. The other player getting up was Caoimhe McCarthy. And just to tell you about Celine Guinan, she was a Féile Skills winner back in 2019 and was also part of the Tipperary under-23 team last year. And another interesting one, she has played on the day of a Munster Hurling Championship game and the primary schools game. That was back when Tipperary played Clare in 2018.
She's all the experience, I suppose, and she's bringing it here today as well, Darren.
Emer McGrath is going to take
Checking
the
free.
wind. And again, she was happy with her first effort from about 50 yards. This is just slightly inside her own half of the field as we approach the quarter hour here in the rag, just out on the Nina Turles Road. And the long effort there, it looks like it's gone over the bar. It has gone over the bar, and it's another score for Tipperary. 15 minutes gone, 5 points to 1.
Oh, great score in fairness here for McGrath. You could see once she struck it very well, and then of course she had the wind as well, straight over the bar.
Straight over the bar, and Sarah Healy now. Again, she has the short option there if she wants it, but decides to drive it long this time. Galway trying to see, can they find a way to break down this wall around the middle of the field, and that's won by Niamh Mallon. Gives it to Niamh McPeak, the two Niamhs in the green helmets, and down in the direction of the attack towards the number 15, who's Caoimhe Kelly. Got a great point in the All-Ireland final last year, but Tipperary again win the ball back. Sarah Corcoran wears number 5, gives in the direction of Karen Kennedy, and Karen Kennedy will drive it down towards space, and Grace O'Brien, if she wins this first time, might have an excellent opportunity. She does a good turn on Rachel Hanafy on that occasion, but Rachel Hanafy sticks with her, and Grace O'Brien will need support now to try and launch it. Indeed, she goes for the shot too. It'll be a great score. She gets it, and Sarah Healy could not take any chances with that. The ball has gone over the bar and looked like a score out of nothing, but Grace O'Brien gets the point, 6 points to 1.
And she did it all by herself. You have to say she worked really hard. What a lovely natural turn she had, a forward turn, and she just took a pot shot, if you like, and straight over the bar.
And it was an awkward bouncing ball there as well, that if the goalkeeper had missed it, it could have well ended up in the back of the net. So Tipperary are in control by 6 points to 1. This time the referee says a throw from Clodagh McIntyre in the direction of Caoimhe Maher. So Galway will get the break and will get the free. And it'll be interesting to see what way they decided to do this. Carrie Dolan is not taking it because Sarah Healy, the goalkeeper, is coming out to take this. Galway's 2 games so far, they went down by 1 point to Kilkenny, 2-11 to 1-13. That was back on the 14th of February. They had a week off then before they played Waterford last week, but the Dacia prevailed by 12 points to 1-5. That puts Galway in this position that if they do not get a result today, they are going to be struggling to won't be struggling regarding the relegation as such. They'll be in the battle, but they'll be struggling. Their hopes of making a league final will be done. Niamh Mallon sending the ball across. This might work out for the visitors in the maroon jerseys. Aoife Donoghue will go for a shot at the post. It's down on the goal, and it's a goal for Galway. A goal for Galway out of nothing. We might see a replay of that in just a moment, and here it is on our screen. Aoife Donoghue puts the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fairness to Aoife, she did go for a point, in fairness, and just very lucky, just hit the corner into the net.
It's just one of those that the Tipperary defender had nearly gotten away. So a break for Galway. Aoife Donoghue with her first goal of this year's league, and it's Galway 1-1. It's Tipperary 6 points, and now the next score is going to be very important even in this early stage of the game. Carrie Dolan with possession gives it to Roisin Black, who's pushing up the fields. Roisin Black, the referee says too many steps, goes against Galway, and Tipperary now will have another opportunity for Emer McGrath to see can she put a score over and give them some consolation after conceding the goal.
Absolutely, and in fairness to Emer McGrath, like we've seen, she's a little bit further back maybe than she was for the free there a few minutes ago, but it's well within her range.
17 and a half minutes gone here in the Rag in Thurles. Tipperary 6 points, Galway 1-1. Another big weekend of camogie for all the teams representing these two counties. Both of them will be in All-Ireland under 16 action tomorrow. We'll tell you about that at the moment. We're watching Emer McGrath first with the free. The umpires have a look and say not on this occasion. Third wide of the game for Tipperary, but we can tell you Cork have scored a goal against Kilkenny. Orla Callan with the goal for them, and it's Cork 1-12, Kilkenny 8 points after their defeat to Antrim. That's putting Cork in a commanding position with 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and in fairness, no better player than Orla Callahan to get the goal either, Darren.
Clodagh McIntyre with the ball, gives the pass off, a generous pass to Jennifer Hughes, and Jennifer Hughes gives it to Aoife Donoghue, the goal scorer for Galway. Aoife Donoghue on the move there again, but Karen Kennedy did enough just to pull off the attempted pass inside, and Tipperary's defenders will try and deal with the possession. Karen Kennedy, a Galway player, just falls over, but the Tipperary number 8, the 2025 captain, held on to play, and now it's with the current 2026 captain Caoimhe McCarthy, and Tipperary will now try and move the ball up the field in towards the attack, but Galway getting bodies in the way, just trying to a high challenge on that occasion. Clodagh McIntyre had their hands out. Carrie Dolan went to ground. It's going to be a free for Galway and possibly a yellow card for the Tipperary number 12.
It will have to be a yellow card, yeah, in fairness. She did pull her down, and it seemed a very high tackle as well, so I'd say she'll pick up a yellow.
And she put the hands up straight away to acknowledge it, realised that she had met the contact, so we look like we're having our first card of the game. And we're just waiting for the confirmation of that from the referee. It has a yellow card for Clodagh McIntyre. Carrie Dolan winning the free. And now can she put this over the bar and bring it back? Well, indeed, it won't be her. They're leaving it to Sarah Healy. We told you about Sarah Healy and her puck fodder experience, well able to drive a ball. And she will come out to take this free just inside the halfway mark on the fields. It's Tipperary in front by 2 points. 19 and a half minutes gone. The goalkeeper from St. Thomas is just saying that the Tipperary player is just a bit too close to her, but she takes the free at the post. We'll have a look at this. It's gone over the bar. It's all of a sudden Galway are back in this contest. Nearly 20 minutes gone. It's Galway 1-2, Tipperary 6 points.
Yeah, good score for Sarah Healy. You have to remember the very strong breeze here. She hit that there against the breeze, so good score for her.
The puck out by Tipperary only gets down towards the half-forward line. Aoife Donoghue did well there, won a free in the process, and Galway will get another opportunity. It looks like Carrie Dolan, well, no, she looked back to the goalkeeper, so if it's working, let's keep going with it. Sarah Healy looks like she's coming up to take this again. This will be to the right of the post, not quite halfway to the sideline, but Carrie Dolan opting again not to take the free, and Sarah Healy will have a go. Oh no,
it's
go
like
back.
There's a change of plan now, and Carrie Dolan has taken it. I think in fairness, it is probably within Carrie's range. It's just with that breeze down, it's hard to know what's the right call.
Well, we'll know after this anyway, but Carrie Dolan is going to take it, and it might come in, it has come in. The sides are level here in the Centra Camogie League in the RAG. Even if there was a planned change originally, Carrie Dolan ends up taking the free. It's Galway 1-3, Tipperary 6 points.
Yeah, again, she got a good strike on that. Like we said, there is a good breeze here, so she did well to get that score.
Teams are level for the second time in round 3 here as Tipperary attack down the right. Clodagh McIntyre getting a touch with Derva Higgins willing to give the shoulder. New rules being tried this year in Camogie. This is Aoife Dwyer having a go at the post out in the right. Goes across the goal. Fourth wide of the game for Tipperary. And Imelda, as you mentioned with the wind there as well, they're going for some of these shots from distance. Normally you don't mind one or two of them, but they'll be disappointed now with a few wides that they've hit.
Yeah, and I suppose in fairness she was within the range to go for her shot there, but she will be disappointed that she didn't get her score there, and I'm sure the Galway defence will be disappointed as well because, in fairness, Tipperary are getting in there quite easy.
Sarah Healy sends the ball down again, opting to go long. Tipperary get a stick up at it, and that was Emer McGrath that got the touch. Ciara Hickey, the number 6 for Galway in the red helmet there, battling for possession. You can see Mary Burke back involved in the action for Tipperary. Carrie Dolan is the player that wins the ball, tries to go inside, gives the pass out to Aoife Donoghue. The bounce of the ball just wouldn't come with him. Oh, there was another high challenge there, and Tipperary will need to be careful with these. Mary Burke just catching the Galway number 12, and it looks like we will be having another card. We're just seeing it here again on our screen. See Carrie Dolan.
She just came in with the shoulder.
It's come in with the shoulder, just a mistimed contact as well. So the referee is going to have a word with the official in front.
Yeah, I think it was just a reflex there that she was trying to stop. Aoife was getting in the sidestep, and he was trying to just to stop her going through. But it is a high tackle, and again, I'd say this could also be a yellow card.
We'd imagine that'll be the decision. She's having a word with the Tipperary number 2. Has had a great game for them so far. Caoimhe McCarthy, the captain, looks like she's happy enough with that. Of course, only the captains are allowed to talk to the referees this year, so I'd say it's definitely a yellow card. When the captain walks away, everything will be okay. That's the second yellow card for Tipperary, and it's something, Imelda, that they'll want to be careful with because it's 2 yellow cards, nothing malicious in either, obviously, but these cards build up, and all of a sudden when it's crunch time in the second half, they could prove costly.
Yeah, exactly, and we can see how simple, like we said there, again, it's down to the hunger as well today, that both teams are fighting hard to get a win here. So, like you said, they need to be careful for the second half turn.
Cork are leading Kilkenny by 113 to 9 points. They are in injury time in that game. Looks like Sarah Healy is going to take this free again. So Galway just mixing up the free taking at the moment. Aoife Donoghue, the double All-Ireland winner back in 2013, is back on her feet. Not for the first time a Galway free taker has dropped the sliotar. I don't know if that lack of concentration or just the way the wind is affecting their routine, but either way, Aoife Donoghue has the ball. She scored a goal, sends it in. A nice teasing ball with Tipperary's defenders getting in the way. They can't afford to drop it, and it's Caoimhe McCarthy again that takes possession, sent it out in the direction of Mary Burke, and Mary Burke will drive the ball down in towards space, and a chance now to turn this around for the blue and gold of Tipperary, as Clodagh McIntyre did well to keep her balance, gives the pass to Emer McGrath, and if isolate a bit of space here for Caoimhe Stekelam, if she can use that a 1-on-1 situation against Katie Manning perhaps. Caoimhe Stekelam turning to the left, help came from Rachel Hannafy, who got in the way, but Caoimhe Stekelam still has the ball. The referee says she caught it 3 times, and it's a free out for Galway. The Galway defence again doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. In fairness, Rachel Hannafy getting in a vital hook there, in fairness, sure, because Caoimhe Stekelam was eyeing up and was going to go for her score, so Galway doing very well there.
Galway doing well there. The sides are level. 6 minutes to half time. We're just waiting. It's now Cork 115, Kilkenny 9 points. We'll just wait. We should have a result on that very, very shortly, and it'll make the table very, very interesting with this game still to be played for as Sarah Healy works her way out towards the field. She will get ready to have a go again from distance, and Galway will be happy not to have conceded a goal so far. Now, there hasn't been a main goal scoring opportunity. There was that one dropping ball that had to be tipped over the bar by Sarah Healy. This is Niamh Nyland in possession for Galway now, and she's running the space. She's of course a sister of Aaron and Evan Nyland to play hurling for Galway. She's well able to score herself and has taken frees for her club over the years as well. Of course, they're blessed with free takers in Claren Bridge, but Carrie Dolan, the captain of this Galway team. Tipperary get the ball out right in front of us again. Derva Higgins gets a touch ahead of Clodagh McIntyre, and Carrie Dolan has possession, gives it to Ciara Hickey. Ciara Hickey on the move for Galway there now, and you can see Grace O'Brien chasing after her. Ciara Hickey was looking for an option. She nearly would have been better off going herself. The Tipperary bodies will get in the way here again. You'd imagine they will win possession, and they have won possession of Tipperary, and they'll send the ball down the field in towards the attack, but only Cueva Stakelum up in front, and Rachel Hanafy wins possession, gives the pass to Derva Higgins. Derva Higgins sends a crossfield ball in towards the attack, and good work there by Emer Lokman for Tipperary to get the better of Shannon Corcoran on that occasion, but Tipperary have not cleared the ball. Emer Lokman has possession again, and she'll send the ball down the middle, finds a teammate, that's Grace O'Brien. Grace O'Brien out for the two-player line, and this might work out for again. The bounce on that occasion just worked out for Galway, because you would have felt if it went in Clodagh McIntyre's direction it was a serious opportunity. Carrie Dolan composed, gives the ball back to her goalkeeper Sarah Healy, out to Katie Manning, and Katie Manning with the ball for Galway, moving down the right hand side of the fields. Emer McGrath gets a touch, and Katie Manning has possession again. This time she's to go up against Karen Kennedy. Strong names now from Tipperary, well used to competing in big matches. Jennifer Hughes sends the ball down towards the attack. Tipperary again look like they'll have the bodies in that occasion. Win possession from the captain, Cueva McCarthy. She'll give it to Mairead Eveston, and out the field again for Tipperary, but it's not been dealt with. Good work by Katie Anna Porter for Galway, and she'll give it to Aoife Donoghue, and Aoife Donoghue will attack down the left hand side of the field. Can she get in for the shot? The Tipperary defender never went away from her, doing enough to put her off. Nearly 27 minutes gone in the first half here in the Rag in Tipperary. Tipperary 6 points, Galway 1-3. Katie Anna Porter under pressure there as Tipperary continue working hard. Niamh Nyland with the ball gets away from Amy Quinless, consented inside there, but it was never really going to work out, and Tipperary will have possession again. The numbers just a bit difficult to see if you're wondering why we're not seeing names from the Tipperary defence too often. Just a bit difficult to make out a few of them at the moment, but either way they bring the ball out in the direction of Karen Kennedy on the 45-metre line. The two number 8s going to battle. Jennifer Hughes is there as well, and the referee eventually says that a Galway player touched the ball in the ground. It's going to be a Tipperary free.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose in fairness, to Galway, they need to get in and score. They find it hard to get through the Tipperary defence there, Darren.
Even with 2.5 minutes and another 30 minutes to play, you just feel the next score in this match is going to be very, very important, especially if you're a Tipperary supporter. You'll want to be in front at half time. You would feel Ciara Hickey with possession sends it down in the direction of Katie Anna Porter, and she wins the race ahead of Aoife Dwyer. Now will move down the left hand side of the fields. Katie Anna Porter, a key cog in Galway, winning the All-Ireland Under-23 Championship last year. She played centre back on that occasion. There was a few of them in the team, including the captain of that side, Katie Manning, wearing number 5 today. Niamh Mallon doing well for Galway, but again Tipperary getting the bodies in there, not leaving any space. Cueva Kelly has possession for Galway, but surrounded by 3 Tipperary jerseys, and good work again by the host. Mairead Eveston will give the ball back to Anya Slattery, back in the Tipperary team, the All-Star for 2020, and sends it down the field. But Derva Higgins, this is a great battle between Derva Higgins and Clodagh McIntyre, you have to say. Maybe we're enjoying it so much because it's right in front of us here in the commentary box, but it shows 2 committed players, 2 experienced campaigners, both unwilling to give an inch to the other.
Oh, absolutely. In fairness, and they're neck and neck there, I think, for every ball that comes in, and it's very hard to see who's going to get on top.
Roisin Black has won the free for Galway, and we'll see again what way the decision is going to go in regards who takes the free. Carrie Dolan is going after the ball. Sarah Healy not moving. You can see Carrie Dolan on your screen, and she will take this free a good distance out, it has to be said. Just over 1 minute of normal time remaining in the first half of the Centra Camogie League contest here in the Rag in Tipperary. Let's just see if we have results from the Kilkenny Cork game. We haven't done the results up on our screen in front of us, but we do think the Cork have won that game by 9 points in the end, as Carrie Dolan takes the free, sends it down in towards the corner. in the direction of Niamh Mallon, but it's won on that occasion by Celine Guinan for Tipperary. But Niamh Mallon has taken back possession again, goes to ground. Support is coming in from Caoimhe Kelly, daughter of Porrick, who played in the 1993 All-Ireland Senior Hurling Final for Galway. They lost that game against Kilkenny, but the dad was man of the match. And the referee, Liz Dempsey, will blow the ball in, waiting for also for confirmation of much added time we will have in the first half. It will be a massive lift for Galway if they were to get their noses in front of the break. Tipperary, you would feel, just need that score that little bit more, but it's all happening outside their own goal at the moment. Bodies again going in, battling for the ball. Hard to see who cleanly has it, but it's in Tipperary hands, and 3 passes later it's out with Karen Kennedy, and Karen Kennedy will move up the field, tries to give it to Clodagh McIntyre. Great hands from Clodagh McIntyre. The contact was in there. The free is won again. That's Clodagh McIntyre against Derva Higgins, and McIntyre with the free. Emer McGrath is going to take it, and I'm not too sure if she'll try and go for a score here, but again it's trying to get space for their 2 inside players. 20 seconds gone of injury time in the first half, and we're just seeing, I didn't quite make out what the linesman indicated if he said 2 or 3 minutes, but we're going to have at least 2 anyway before we get to half time. Emer McGrath.
Difficult angle here now, in fairness to her, Darren. She's only a couple of yards in from the sideline.
Emer McGrath is part of the management team of Ursuline Turles that meant the All-Ireland final. This is a great free if it goes over the bar, and Emer McGrath puts the ball over the bar. One of the finest scores of the day. It's been 10 minutes since we had a score, but Tipperary needed it, and they got it 7 points to 1-3.
Oh, like I said, one of the finest scores today. Like, she was just a couple of yards in from the sideline. She made no mistake, straight over the bar. Great score for Emer.
Can Galway get a response before half time? We played 1 minute of injury time in the first half of this game. The break does work out. Good work by Carrie Dolan for Niamh McPeak, and the space opens up for Niamh Mallon. She'll have Amy Quinlisk chasing her. That's the Tipperary number 11 in the yellow helmet. This is the Galway number 11 in the green helmet. Niamh McPeak out on the right, goes for the shot, and it's gone over the bar again from our angle. We weren't too sure for a moment, but it's a point for Niamh McPeak, and we're level again, 1-4 to 7 points.
Yeah, and in fairness, Niamh McPeak, what great work she did even before she scored her point, but it did look like it was dropping into the net there. We got a little bit excited here in the commentary box, but it's a great score there for Niamh McPeak.
It was very just over the crossbar as well. Tipperary will go short. Maybe they're happy enough to just try and bring this up with nearly 2 minutes of injury time have been played. Amy Quinlisk with possession and sending it down in towards the attack. I will just tell you about those under 16 games tomorrow. Galway hosting Kilkenny in Duggan Park, Ballinasloe at 2 o'clock. Tipperary are on the road to the Cork Camogie grounds at the same time. So if you're a Galway or Tipperary supporter and you love your Camogie, get out and cheer on the respective under 16s tomorrow. Emer McGrath with the shot at the post. You can hear the roar well before the ball reached the goal. It's gone over the bar. Emer McGrath with a point from distance. Good work by Caoimhe Maher on that occasion, and Tipperary are back in front.
Oh, absolutely, and you can see, I suppose, the hunger that's there in Tipperary and the cheer they got when Emer got that score.
The cheer they got when she released it from the hurl, let alone when it over the bar. The referee, Liz Dempsey, has blown the half-time whistle. Tipperary are leading Galway by 8 points to 1-4. Imelda Hobbins, your overall thoughts in the first half?
Well, in fairness, I suppose you have to say, it's all about Tipperary here. Galway came back into there for a while with Aoife Donoghue's goal, but Tipperary again has pushed on. They're very, very strong up front, and I know they have a strong breeze as well, in fairness to them, but I think if Tipperary can keep pushing on like this, Galway are going to find it hard to get back.
So just with the win, before we go and take a break here in our broadcast in the Camogie Association YouTube channel, we talked about it, referenced it many occasions in the first half. Tipperary have been the better team, no dispute about that, but is 1 point sufficient, knowing the experience of this Galway team and their ability to grow into matches?
Yeah, and I suppose again it's the breeze as well, how good that Galway can use the breeze. And I suppose, Aaron, as well, you have to look at Galway. They are struggling, but they're struggling to open it up as well. They're inclined to stay down the middle, and I think if Galway come on the second half and just open up the play and start picking out players, they just find it hard to get in the scores. But I think they're all kind of running down the centre and not creating an option for themselves. But again, a lot of that comes of playing against the breeze, so again, with the breeze this time, they might be able to throw it around more and get a few scores. And
that'll be the challenge of the Tipperary defence, who've dealt with it very, very well in the first half. Galway got the break for the goal from Aoife Donoghue. We've seen some good scores, that one from Niamh McPeak at the end as well, but Tipperary had the majority of scoring chances in the game. They'll be disappointed with some of their wides. Galway now have to take advantage, especially in that area in front of us here, where we're standing in the commentary box between the 45-metre line and the halfway mark, where just take Emer McGrath's last score, prime example.
Yeah, exactly. And I think in fairness to Tipperary, they are dominating midfield, and I think Galway are getting it hard to break down their half back line as well, so they seem to be dominating there, and that's resulting then they're setting up their attack, which is creating that I suppose, that's running game that Tipperary have here. So I think Galway will have to do coming out in the second half. They're going to have to focus on that. They're going to have to focus at centre field, and they're going to have to start maybe do a running game or something to try and break down their defence.
Well, Tipperary have the advantage in the break, but there's still 30 minutes to go. We're going to take a break here, but highlights coming up on the Camogie Association YouTube page of this round 3 game of the Centra Camogie League. Tipperary lead by a point, but Galway have that goal and they have the win in the second half. Join us again in 5 to 10 minutes time for live coverage of the second half. The half-time score here in the RAG, it's Tipperary 8 points, Galway 1-4. Good afternoon, thank you very much and welcome back here to the Rag in County Tipperary as we get ready for the second half of round 3 of the Centra Camogie League. Tipperary in front at half time by 8 points to 4. 4 scores for Emer McGrath, Cueva Stakelum, Grace O'Brien, Cueva Maher and Mary Burke also on target. The Galway team are just going back out for the second half. No changes in Tipperary. We'll keep an eye on Galway. Their goal coming from Aoife Donoghue, Carrie Dolan with 2 frees, Sarah Healy the goalkeeper also with a free, Niamh McPeak with her only point from play, something we hadn't picked up in the first half. That point for Galway before half time. I do mention Imelda Hoppins, of course, joining myself, Darren Kelly here in the commentary box. That's where Galway will have to be focusing on, especially the first 5-10 minutes of the second half. Yeah,
that just seems to be where they're getting it difficult to break down the Tipperary half back line, and I think if Galway need to have a shot at this, they're going to have to start running at Tipperary.
No wasting time there. Aoife Donoghue dropping the ball down, Galway attacking the goal to the left as you look at it on your screen in the second half, but you can see Mairead Evanston, the full-back for Tipperary, with the ball, and she'll send it out in the direction of Cueva Maher, and Cueva Maher trying to get away from Niamh Nyland, gives the pass off there to a teammate, and it looks like it's a Cueva McCarthy again to Karen Kennedy, and the ball just breaks down in Galway's favour, and they'll have an opportunity to go again. Shannon Corcoran, where's number 13, has the ball, but she go for a score here, and it'll be a good start for the second half. Has to be tapped over the bar, but it is tapped over the bar. Shannon Corcoran with the score there. Good work by Niamh Nyland. We're level again, 1-5 to 8 points.
Yeah, and I suppose it just shows you how quick something can change. Tipperary coming out with, looking like they were going to drive it down the field, and next to just a simple little thing, Galway flicks it on and gets a score.
They get the score, and Tipperary restart the action with their goalkeeper Anya Slattery, and she has found Aoife Dwyer, also the Turles Sarsfields club there with possession. Carrie Dolan getting in the way for Galway in a scramble right in front of the main stand here in the Rag on the Nina de Turles Road, and it's Katie Anna Porter. She didn't just manage to keep it in play. I just think the linesman was right with that one. It just slightly went out, and it'll be a Tipperary ball.
Yeah, disappointing for Katie Anna Porter. She did a lot of hard work there to get through. She just seemed to be pulling away, if you like, from the troubles, and she just stepped out over the line.
Cueva Maher, as we mentioned earlier on, her 14th season representing Tipperary. She was an All-Ireland minor winner back in 2011. Sends a ball down towards the attack, gets away from the hands of Emer McGrath, who was really grown into the contest during the second quarter for Tipperary as Galway try and clear the danger. Roisin Black, the green helmet there, trying to move up the field, gives a hand pass off. Great interception there by Aoife Dwyer for Tipperary. She goes to the ground, just a tangle there, goes against the Galway centre back. Aoife Dwyer wins the free, and this will be a chance for Emer McGrath to put Tipperary back in front.
Yeah, in fairness, Ciara Hickey, it was accidental, but a trip is a trip at the end of the day, so free there for Tip.
Aoife Dwyer, scholar student from Maynooth University, played junior for Tipperary in 2023. Of course, they were the All-Ireland Premier Junior Champions in 2024. Now we just have one team for every county. Emer McGrath getting ready to take this free, the top scorer of the game so far. 2 minutes gone in the second half. The sides are level, and Emer McGrath out in the right. This will be a big score. She just got too much purchase on it, and it goes across to the left and wide. 5th wide of the game for Tipperary by my count, Imelda. Galway haven't had a wide in the match yet.
No, in fairness, Team McGrath, I think she was trying to drive it there against the breeze, and just I suppose lost the direction.
Sarah Corcoran wins the race there, but Aoife Donoghue doesn't give up. Tipperary have it through Cueva McCarthy, and she'll send it into space, and the players in the white helmets linking well for the Premier County, but Aoife Dwyer's attempted pass was intercepted by Jennifer Hughes. She is the Galway number 8. The ball manages to break off for Amy Quillis nonetheless, and the Tipperary centre forward sending it down in towards the attack, and Galway's defenders have to be alert, and Derva Higgins is the player that wins the ball but hasn't got her away again. That battle, Higgins against McIntyre, catching the eye here. Ciara Hickey with the ball. Yeah, good composure there by the centre back to give it to Carrie Dolan, and Carrie Dolan will send the long ball down towards the attack. Galway have not led in this match yet. Is this the time that is going to change? No, it's not going to be. It didn't happen for Cueva Kelly, and after we saying Galway hadn't a wide, they get their first wide of the match.
Yeah, in fairness, Cueva Kelly, what lovely skill she showed there. In fairness, she flicked it down lovely for herself, but just didn't get the score.
The puck out doesn't go for Anya Slattery. It's won by Shannon Corcoran. Will this ball come in? And it has just come in, and it's gone over the bar, and Galway do go in front. A lapse of concentration from Tipperary, well read by Shannon Corcoran, and it's now 1-6 to Galway, 8 points to Tipperary.
Yeah, Shannon Corcoran doing very well there. In fairness, she's very much got onto the ball. She looked up, seeing where she was, and over the bar. Second score for Sharon.
Great start to the second half for her, and those two scores coming in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, and Galway have won the ball back again. Niamh Nyland's to help the opening score there. Niamh Nyland has the ball. Can she get off the mark in this game? She got 3 against Kilkenny. She gets her first here today, and all of a sudden 3 scores in a row. Galway 1-7, Tipperary 8 points.
Yeah, we've seen Niamh Nyland, on many occasions. I suppose she's a great player with distance as well down the wing. She loves to run down the wing and take her score, and that's exactly what she did.
Anya Slattery will want to make sure that they find a target here. No changes on either side for the second half. Tipperary could do with a score. They had the scoring opportunity to go in front. Now find themselves 2 down, and Aoife Donoghue has possession for Galway, sending it down towards the right in the direction of Caoimhe Kelly. Caoimhe Kelly loses out on that occasion to Emer Lokman, but Tipperary still need to clear the ball. Celine Guinan with possession, and the referee says she charged in to Aoife Donoghue from Galway. Aoife Donoghue gets a pat on the back for winning the free, and Harry Dolan, and we've mentioned about Galway struggling to create scoring chances, and of course that wind is, it's stronger than it looks on the screen. Let's suppose we put it that way too. Galway certainly shown that now they have that bit of momentum. They want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I suppose it's as well, just when they got into the dressing room at half time, I suppose, and just thought about the first half, and they knew that they had to come out and get into this game, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Just outside the 45-metre line, the far side of the field, attacking the goal to the left. Carrie Dolan with 2 scores already in the match. Is she going to make it a 3 for herself? And Carrie Dolan puts the ball over the bar. Her 10th white flag of this year's Centra Camogie League. She did score a goal after 10 seconds in the opening game against Kilkenny, but now puts 3 between the teams, 1-8 to 8 points.
Yeah, good score by Carrie. She's very, very close to line as well. The angle was difficult for her, but she made no mistakes. Straight over the bar.
Mary Burke trying to get the touch there, and Shannon Corcoran doing enough to put her off, and Niamh Nyland, and these are the 2 players that are catching the eye if you're a Galway supporter at the start of the second half, sending it down in the direction of Niamh Nyland. Sarah Corcoran very, very wisely helped the ball out over the line. Anya Slattery already had the ball in the hand. You don't have to wait for a second whistle in Camogie if the ball goes wide, and Anya Slattery was ready. Good understanding there between the Tipperary players as Caoimhe McCarthy, the captain for Tipperary, sends it down the right hand side of the field in the Clodagh McIntyre country, and again there's players from both teams battling for the possession of the ball. Katie Anna Porter is in there for Galway. Aoife Dwyer is in there for Tipperary. I'd say the referee is going to, she's put the whistle in the mouth. The Kilkenny official, Liz Dempsey, she didn't need to blow it at the end because Aoife Donoghue has won the ball. She has the advantage. It will be a free for Galway if they don't get anything out of this. Jennifer Hughes sends it down towards Niamh Mallon. Niamh Mallon, the former down player, now the Galway player, used her experience to play the ball into space until she had time to control the ball. She has the ball in her hand. Will she get off the mark in this game? And Niamh Mallon puts the ball over the bar, and all of a sudden now it is 1-9 to Galway, 8 points to Tipperary. What a different contest we're having here now.
That's for sure. Niamh Mallon, in fairness, got onto a couple of balls there in the first half as well, but just wasn't able to get away from her marker. She got away there and got her score.
The count in the second half is Galway 5 points, Tipperary no score, and Galway are finally launching themselves. Now they had a good third quarter in their opening game against Kilkenny before Kilkenny got the second goal, so the job is not done yet, and Tipperary very much in this match, and Karen Kennedy will be determined to keep them involved in that, and she's done enough to dispossess Aoife Donoghue, but nobody's taking clean possession. Niamh Nyland is there again, and Tipperary have supported their captain, but it's Karen Kennedy that clears the ball and sends it down towards the attack. Can the host get their opening score of the second half and get settled back in? Rachel Hannafy doing enough to dispossess Grace O'Brien, leaves it for a teammate, and it's Roisin Black playing out in a more advanced pushing forward in this game. She has been the former Galway captain, wearing the number 3 jersey, and we've a scramble again for the ball outside the 45-metre line. The referee has blown the whistle. We're going to throw this in. 2 players going for battle with possession, and it's Amy Quillis because there the referee spotted a D in. I'm not too sure what way she indicated. It looks like it's going to be a Tipperary ball here, Imelda.
Yeah, she pointed down to her legs, so unless she's pulling for striking.
So it's going to be
definitely a free anyway for Tipperary.
It's going to be Emer McGrath. And Emer McGrath to take this now just to get a score to settle things down to still 22 minutes plus injury time to be played. And Tipperary a proud record here in the rag as they get ready for Emer McGrath. She missed the first one there. She hasn't missed too many in fairness. Is it going over the bar? It is on this occasion. And Emer McGrath gets the score for Tipperary. One that they needed, Imelda. It's back to a 3-point ball game, 9 points to 1-9. Yeah,
in fairness, Galway I suppose have had a blizz there now after coming out after half time. So Tipperary needed to get back in, and no better person than Emer McGrath to bring them back.
Galway beat Tipperary by 118 to 111 in last year's All-Ireland semi-final, played in front of 7,000 people in Nolan Park in Kilkenny. Niamh Mallon went to ground there. And there's a bit of afters between the two teams, and the linesman right there in front, as again just showing these two teams determined to get one and the other. It looks like the referee will have a word with Caoimhe McCarthy and with Niamh Mallon. There was a shoulder and a push, and I think Liz Dempsey just say, let's all calm it down with the camogie.
Again, I suppose it's just a passion that both teams have here and have brought to the pitch here today, and you know that's what happened. We were talking about the rugby there, Darren, being physical last night. I think this is getting good now here.
There definitely hasn't been lacking in the physicality in this contest as Celine Guinan restarts the action, sends the ball down towards the right. Katie Anna Porter for Galway, the number 7, is in the middle of that battle for possession and looking for teammates. Amy Quinlisk gets a touch, but it's Carrie Dolan that takes the ball, finds Niamh McPeak. Niamh McPeak back to Carrie, and Carrie Dolan finding another player there as well. A high challenge in there. Play continues on. Jennifer Hughes has possession, but a good interception there by Amy Quinlisk for Tipperary. Gives it to Karen Kennedy. Karen Kennedy out in the right. There's a bit of space here now for Tipperary. If they can take advantage of it, as Grace O'Brien tries to take control of possession, she will need support. The support comes from Clodagh McIntyre, and Clodagh McIntyre, you can hear the roars from the Tipperary faithful. They knew that was a good score, and Clodagh McIntyre gets the point. 10 points to Tipperary, 1-9 to Galway.
Yeah, great work in fairness by Tipperary. You know, they controlled, they looked, they found the best player in the position, and that was Clodagh McIntyre, and straight over the bar for her.
Straight over the bar for her, and 10 minutes gone, no sign of any changes at the moment. I think one Tipperary player might be doing a warm-up. The Galway bench is white underneath us here in our commentary box as Niamh Mallon goes to ground. The referee has their hand out, and she smiles because she knows she's done well to win the free, and Carrie Dolan no doubt will come down to take this. And this should be a chance well within her range and an opportunity to put 3 between them again.
Yeah, in fairness, Niamh Mallon doing very well there. You know, ball broke lovely for her in fairness, and she was en route to get her score before she was fouled.
Carrie Dolan, the All-Ireland winning captain for Galway in 2025. She was the All-Ireland Under-16 winning captain for Galway in 2015. And of course, we mentioned earlier on, don't forget the All-Ireland Under-16 Camogie Championships are in action tomorrow. Galway against Kilkenny in Duggan Park, Ballinasloe at 2 o'clock. Tipperary travelling to Cork at the Cork Camogie grounds at the same time. Get behind your respective county. Carrie Dolan taking the fray. She has the contact. It looks good from our angle. It's gone over the bar, and Carrie Dolan puts over the fray. That was won by Niamh Mallon. It's 1-10 to Galway, 10 points to Tipperary.
Yeah, Carrie Dolan there just taking her score to keep Galway, I suppose, on the winning side. Actually, the goal is between the teams there now.
The puck out again was intercepted, and Carrie Dolan had a touch there first, but Emer Oakman is back there for Tipperary. The number 4 in the blue helmet on your screen, trying to find space, sends it down the right hand side of the field. A touch by Aoife Dwyer. Can she find Amy Quinlisk? Not if Shannon Corcoran has anything to say about it. She gives the pass off to Jennifer Hughes. Jennifer Hughes will spread it across to the right hand side of the field as Niamh Mallon moving left and right in the Galway attack with Celine Guinan never too far away. And the Tipperary wing back, well, she has won the ball. Can she get the clearance away? Indeed she does. Sends it down the left hand side of the field, but Galway look like they have the bodies. There's a Clodagh McIntyre though nearly won the race back, but Derva Higgins takes possession. A good block there by the Tipperary player. It's going to go out the far side of the field for a Galway ball, and Derva Higgins there just takes it in her hand, a soaring star winner back in 2019, and she'll leave it off for a teammate there to restart the action. The far side of the field, that teammate of course is Aoife Donoghue, and Aoife Donoghue plays it into space in the direction of Caoimhe Kelly. Caoimhe Kelly offloads it there to Niamh Nyland. Niamh Nyland, can she go for another score herself? Not on that occasion. That one goes to the right and wide, third wide of the half for Galway.
Yeah, in fairness, you know, she just missed too many of those. She just didn't seem to get her strike in.
So we're going to restart with Anya Slattery, the Tipperary goalkeeper. And she goes long on this occasion. And Mary Burke in the mix there, but Niamh McPeak getting in the way. Aoife Dwyer working hard for Tipperary. Karen Kennedy has been working hard throughout the contest, wins the ball for them. Tried to play the pass off for Caoimhe Maher, but the little drop of possession allows Galway an opportunity, but it goes down, and Ciara Hickey playing the holding role between the half-back and the full-back line, wins possession, gives it to Jennifer Hughes, and Jenny Hughes now sent it across the field, and Niamh Mallon might get inside. The defender here just didn't manage to get it, and Maureen Evanston, a bit of fortune but a bit of wherewithal as well, did enough to just hold on towards control of the ball before letting Celine Guinan send it out the field, and now Tipperary win a free. Clodagh McIntyre getting it just outside the half-back line.
Yeah, Dervla Higgins there with the hand on the back, being crucified now, if you like, here by the free going against her.
So Tipperary will have a free. 3 points between the teams. A goal will change everything in this contest as we come up towards the 3-quarter mark of this round 3 game in the Centra National Camogie League here in the RAG in Tipperary. We hope you're enjoying our coverage, brought to you in the Camogie Association YouTube page in association with Entry, as the long free is sent down towards the attack in Tipperary, looking for Caoimhe Stakely, but she doesn't get it, and again it's Ciara Hickey that wins the ball, gives it to Aoife Donoghue, and Aoife Donoghue will send it out the far side of the field, and it's Jennifer Hughes also growing very influential in the second half. Caoimhe Kelly trying to win that. Mairead Everson just getting in the way again, has possession on her own 13 metre line, gets to the 20, goes to ground, wins the free. We were talking about the Galway defenders in the first half, and Mairead Everson is leading the Tipperary defenders and dealing with these things in the second.
Yeah, in fairness, Tipperary, they've come out there a couple of times now in the last few minutes with the ball, and their defence doing very well.
Caoimhe McCarthy sending the ball down towards the left, but it looks like Galway have taken back possession. Support is coming. Derva Higgins wearing number 4 gives it to Aoife Donoghue, who is also dropping back a little bit there too. Both teams trying to launch attacks from just inside their own half of the field and create space the other side. Katie Manning has the ball for Galway and moving down the right hand side of the field. Tipperary not making it easy. Eva Dwyer was there as well. The referee said that the Galway number 5 was fouled, and she will win a free. And again, Galway just in that 3-4 point lead at the moment. Tipperary will want to get another couple of scores in succession very, very quickly, just to bring it back to that 1-score game, because anything can happen. But if they allow Galway to get to 4-5, the All-Ireland champions will take control of this contest.
Yeah, and I suppose in good fairness to Galway, they have the experience as well, of coming back, of being down. So it's interesting to see Katie Manning doing very well there, in fairness for Galway as well there, and coming out there winning that free.
She did well to win that free, and it'll be an opportunity now for Galway to restart the action. I think Tipperary are going making a change. That's what the hold up in play is. They're going to make a double substitution for Tipperary. So James Heffernan and his management team not wasting any time. So I think that's going to be allowed before the free is taken. So we are going to have to. We'll give you the details in a moment. We can tell you that Mary Burke and Caoimhe Maher are the players that are making way for Tipperary, and it's number 18 and 21 that's on the field that plays. That's Isabel O'Donnell, who started the last day against Kilkenny, and Roisin Howard, who has a bit of history with Aoife Donoghue in this particular ground. No doubt she won't be too far away from Aoife Donoghue for the rest of the game.
Both those girls now coming in fresh into this game, so it'll be interesting to see.
Be interesting to see. The free for Galway is sent down towards the attack. Niamh Mallon trying to get control of it. There was Celine Guinan again, very, very close. Caoimhe McCarthy, the captain for Tipperary, has won the free. The former student of MIC Thurles goes to ground. We're going to have a hold up in play at the moment. But just talking about Caoimhe McCarthy there, Imelda, new Tipperary captain, and she's been playing a captain's role in this match. Yeah,
in fairness to her, she's got on to an awful lot of ball there in the first half as well, set up a lot of the attack. And Tipperary were getting the scores there in the first half, and again in the second half, and Galway putting the pressure on. She's been a leader in there for them.
She has been a leader in there for them as well. She was player of the match when Tipperary played Kilkenny in Croke Park last year in the Epic 2025 quarter-final that went to extra time, and Tipperary getting through on that occasion, beating Kilkenny. And of course this year now in the All-Ireland Senior Championship we'll have a group of 4 involved in the 4 semi-finalists and a group of 6 involved in the other 10 teams in the race for the O'Duffy Cup. That's a thought for the respective teams later in the year. As we mentioned at the start, they might be judged on what happens in the summer, but you can definitely tell they both want to win the Centra National Camogie League. Galway will still find it hard to make it through there, but with Cork's victory against Kilkenny earlier on, it certainly opened up a spot that looks like will be taken on Waterford in the final. We will see. Shannon Corcoran gets a touch of the ball there for Galway. The number 13 is Karen Kennedy in possession for Tipperary, gives it back to Celine Guinan, and Celine Guinan will send it out the left hand side of the field. Derva Higgins just losing her balance, and Roisin Howard will get the possession of the ball for Tipperary. What damage can she do? Will Roisin Howard, the dual player, sent it across the field. Karen Kennedy has pushed up the fields, and we're going back for the foul on Roisin Howard. Originally Tipperary will have an effort out on the left. The advantage was allowed. Karen Kennedy not managing to get away through, and Tipperary have a chance again to bring this back to a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, it's an important free here now for Tipperary. Like you said here, they need the score now.
Eamon McGrath is going to take it out on the left hand side of the field. 12 minutes of normal time remaining here, and Eamon McGrath, the Tipperary number 14 back. They missed her in 2025. She'll take this free outside the 45 metre line, as we said. Goes for the shot. They got across the goal. It has. And
she had the distance, in fairness, sure, it just didn't have the accuracy.
It just didn't have the accuracy. And of course, you are going into that wind as well, which is very, very difficult. We're not quite at trying to create a goal scoring opportunity yet for Tipperary, but they'll want to get a couple of points quickly and stop Galway having control, because Galway are on the attack here again. And Aoife Donoghue is the player on the ground. 2 hands to call her, but she only used one, but she eventually did get the ball into her hand. Tried to send it aside. Tipperary's defence doing very, very well. And Sarah Corcoran will send it out in the direction of Aoife Dwyer. And Aoife Dwyer right in front of us there, taking on Katie Anna Porter. The Tipperary number 10 moves inside the Galway half of the field, puts it into space, but Ciara Hickey is going to again say thank you very much for that. He just flicked it up for Carrie Dolan, and Carrie Dolan being pushed back but got a little gap and moves it down in the direction of Niamh Nyland, and Niamh Nyland enjoying playing out in the half forward line in the second half, but she was up against 2 Tipperary players. Celine Guinan with the ball, Niamh McPeak putting in the challenge. Clodagh McIntyre takes possession, gives it back to Caoimhe McCarthy, and Caoimhe McCarthy down the field, and Roisin Black was leading with the hurl there after getting away from Emer McGrath. She's the Galway number 3, but the battle on the 45 metre line here between the two sides. You can see their bodies in left, right and centre. The referee has spotted a foul. Looks like she spotted somebody swinging a hurl, and I just didn't quite see what way. It looks like it's going to be a Galway ball. I think it is, yeah, because Sarah Healy's coming out, yeah. So Sarah Healy, the Galway goalkeeper, got a point in the first half. We're inside the final 10 minutes here in the Rag in Turles. Galway have not won in this venue in the league since 2019. They were winners on that occasion by 114-116. Carrie Dolan got 10 points on that occasion for Galway. Ailish O'Reilly scoring 1-2. Niamh Mallon is the number 10 for Galway. She has the ball. Quietly been doing her work in this contest as well, it has to be said. Tipperary's defenders win back the ball and will bring it out towards the 20-metre line. Sarah Corcoran 2. Amy Quinless now trying to find it in the direction of Clodagh McIntyre. Just overhit for Clodagh, and Carrie Dolan has the ball for Galway. And Carrie Dolan moving down towards the 45-metre line, looking for a pass towards Niamh Nyland. It was always hanging there for Caoimhe McCarthy with Tipperary to win the ball, but she didn't win the stiller. And Galway are getting players in there again. Every player just battling for what they can. Celine Guinan, the player that sends it down the left hand side of the field for the Emer McGrath versus Roisin Black duel, which has also been among the top matchups in this game. And who wins this will be very, very important. This is all happening on the Galway 45-metre line. Tipperary have the ball, trying to bring it in towards the central channel to create the scoring opportunity here. Now they need to get something out of this. You would feel the ball is dropped in towards the house of Sarah Healy. She has to be very, very careful, because there's a player coming in from Tipperary, and the Galway goalkeeper did well just getting it away from the goal a little bit, but the danger has not been averted just yet. And Tipperary battling for possession, but it's Galway that win the ball, and they'll bring it out the field there. Derva Higgins with the pass up to Ciara Hickey, and Ciara Hickey now was actually Rachel Hanavy that had the ball, but it's Ciara Hickey nonetheless that has possession. Sends it down towards Shannon Corcoran right in front of us here in the commentary box, and Shannon Corcoran there getting support, getting encouragement, and going on a run is Shannon Corcoran. And Shannon Corcoran, will she go over the score? It'll be her turn of the half. If it goes over the bar, Shannon Corcoran gets the point for Galway. Good play again in defence by the Galway team, and it's now 111 to 10 points to Galway.
Yeah, I think it was Katie Manning that came out there with the ball and letting it off to Ciara Hickey. Great ball in then, and both Shannon Corcoran, in fairness, has really ignited this Galway team in the second half, scoring her third point.
Third point for her as well, and 3 important scores in this half as well. We're going to have a change for Tipperary. 24 is on the field for Dim. That is Emer Heffernan, and she comes on for Amy Quinless. And I think that's what you call it, a sign of the influence that Ciara Hickey's been having at centre back.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ciara Hickey having a great game there for Galway. Galway haven't made any change yet, actually, Darren, have they?
No, they haven't, and I'm looking at the Galway management team just off screen there, but we'll focus on what you've seen on the screen, because Clodagh McIntyre has the ball. She's on the run, and that's a point. And Clodagh McIntyre is a player well capable of dragging the Tipperary team back in the contest, and it's a point for Tipperary. We're back to a 3-point ball game, 11 points to 111.
Fairness, great run there for Clodagh McIntyre. You know, she had Ciara Hickey to deal with. She did a lovely sidestep and straight over the bar for her.
Straight over the bar for Clodagh McIntyre.
Somebody down.
There's a player receiving treatment just the far side of the field there. Just you just see it on our screen there now. But she's
like
okay.
Emer McGrath, I think, is it? She seems okay.
Yeah, there was indeed Emer McGrath. She's coming back out the field to play. For the puck out as Sarah Healy will restart the action. The Galway goalkeeper, 6.5 minutes of normal time remaining.
Great distance in this.
Long drive down. That's a good drive by Sarah Healy, but well read by Sarah Corcoran for Tipperary. And two Galway players battling for the ball. Aoife Donoghue is one of them. And again, the battle for possession there. Nobody quite taking control just yet. 18 gives the pass out to 4-4 is Emer Lokeman, and Emer Lokeman down the field to play, but it's going to be Ciara Hickey coming out to meet this again for Galway. Ciara Hickey to Niamh Mallon. Niamh Mallon there just holding on to possession. Can she find a way inside? And Roisin Howard very, very tight. The referee doesn't like what she's looking at, and we're going to throw the ball in. So what you got to we'll have a throw in there, but Galway are making those changes that we mentioned, and there's two of them on. I can tell you that Caoimhe Kelly has definitely gone off the field to play. We'll tell you the other player in just a moment. The two on for Galway are Mairead Dillon and Kayla Madden, and it is Niamh Nyland, the other player that's going off for Galway as well. So that is the two changes, and we just give Niamh Nyland a mention. Her third quarter impact in this game definitely told, setting up scores and getting a great point herself.
Yeah, in fairness to her, and like I mentioned, she's a player that loves to run down the wing. She can get scores from distance, and she's a player that I'd like to see maybe playing in the half forward line for Galway and feeding her loads of ball.
So we're just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining here in the Centra Camogie League. It's Galway 1-11, Tipperary 11 points. Galway making their first changes. There's been 3 changes for Tipperary as well. So no doubt we'll see a few more subs before the end of this contest.
But I think, as we mentioned as well there, before the match, the league is all about giving game time to players as well, and that's what both managements are doing now.
That's exactly it, and they'll be getting them on there as the ball is thrown back in, and as it gets away from the Tipperary player, and Niamh McPeak, with possession surrounded by 2 players. That would be a fantastic pass if it worked its way in towards Mairead Dillon. Mairead Dillon, of course, who scored the goal in the All-Ireland final last year, kicked it into space, but the race for Tipperary is going to be won by their number 18, Isabel O'Donnell, and Isabel O'Donnell tries to send it up the field. A foul committed. Tipperary will have a chance, and of course, just for Tipperary watchers here on our stream, this game is not over yet. There's only 3 points between the teams. It's 1-11 to Galway, 11 points to Tipperary, and we are going to have another Tipperary change, and they're coming in ticking fast now. As Imelda said, Emma Carey, the number 19 it looks like, is on the field to play, and she will be coming on for Sarah Corcoran. And Sarah Corcoran has done an awful lot of good work as well in the full back line.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a great game.
Great game for her there too. So this is an important moment for Tipperary to try and get themselves going. Emer McGrath hits it high. It sails out to the right.
They were landing in the first half. And you can see her.
Well, especially the way that they were landing in the first half. And look, Emer McGrath, which goes back in the Tipperary team as well, is welcome, and she will be a leading force later in the season. And of course, maybe in this league yet, because while qualifying with 2 defeats is very, very difficult for a league final, it has opened up with Cork's victory against Kilkenny. You would feel that there was a slot there, possibly, if you end up with 9 points in this league. But let's finish with the action in this particular game. 3 minutes to go there. Galway with possession in the middle of the fields, and as Jennifer Hughes there ran into Emer McGrath and Karen Kennedy. Karen Kennedy goes to ground. Jennifer Hughes wins the ball back, gives it to Aoife Donoghue, and Aoife Donoghue will move up towards the 45-metre line, and Aoife Donoghue going for a shot at the post, and that one goes out to the right and wide. The way that was floating, you would have just felt that would have been a winner if it had gone over the bar.
Yeah, and I suppose in fairness for her, she was very tight there. She had to get in a short swing in case she was hooked, so I think she just didn't have the power.
If Galway get one more score, it looked like they'll be in control of this game. Kayla Madden, another of the Athenry contingent that won the All-Ireland. A crossfield ball in the direction of Shannon Corcoran. And Shannon Corcoran, can she do some damage here yet? Leaves it off for Carrie Dolan. Carrie Dolan out on the left-hand side of the fields. And Carrie Dolan puts the ball over the bar. And a point from play for the Galway captain. But Shannon Corcoran doing the work there as well. It's 1-12 to Galway. 11 points to Tipperary. The linesman there is looking to indicate we're going to have another substitution in a moment. But just going back to that score, Imelda, as we look, keep an eye on the substitution, and no, it's not going to happen just yet, but a big score there. Carrie Dolan putting them 4 points up. Tipperary need a goal now. Yeah,
and in fairness, to Carrie, she's working so hard here today. Pure leader indeed for Galway, getting a great score.
Ciara Hickey with possession for Galway. We'll be getting your thoughts on player of the match in a couple of moments, and of course we'll be hearing from the player of the match and the winning manager at the end of this game. But Tipperary still having given up this contest, even though they'll be disappointed with that delivery down, and Derva Higgins has the ball in her own 45-metre line. She was dragged to the ground by Roisin Howard, and it's going to be a free out for Galway. So there's a change for Tipperary there. I think Grace O'Brien has gone off. I didn't quite hear the number that has come on the field of play, but we'll get that confirmed for you in a moment. So I think it was Niamh Tracy that might have been said there, number 22, but we'll confirm that for a second. Galway look like they'll be bringing on Eva Crow in a moment too. There's actually going to be a couple of changes for Galway, so the changes are happening as Sarah Healy gets ready to take this free, but we're just approaching the final minute. Indeed, we're gone into the final minute of normal time. Sarah Healy driving a free down with a carry all the way itself, and Sarah Healy goes out to the left and wide. That'll be a wide ball for Galway, giving Tipperary a glimmer of hope as Galway are about to make their changes there now. And there's a few of them coming on, I can tell you that. But one is Ava Crow, and wearing 18, and one is Tegan Canning wearing 21. Katie Anna Porter is gone off the field of play, and Shannon Corcoran also gone off the field of play. And Imelda will better give Shannon Corcoran a mention there as well. 3 points in play in the second half, setting up a score. A major difference in the second half.
Yeah, and I suppose she got that point, just after half time, which probably brought Galway back into this game as well, but she's a player with loads of experience. I know she suffers with injury, so if she can keep injury free, she'll be a huge asset for Galway.
Mairead Dillon moving up the field there. Good touch by Emer Lokeman, but it falls for Carrie Dolan. Carrie Dolan with possession will give it back into the direction of the number 18 Ava Crow, and Ava Crow with the ball there has managed to get it somehow. The Tipperary bodies were flying in left and right, but nobody managed to get possession of the ball, and it fell again for the Galway number 18. It's not quite as clear cut now as you can see on your screen. Niamh McPeak on the ball for Galway. The referee Liz Dempsey not happy with what she's looking at, and she's going to throw the ball in. I think we're just getting confirmation there of the changes. I think did we see Alana Kelly come on the field to play as well? I think she was mentioned. Was there a triple substitution? We'll be doing a lot of double checking changes here. We saw 18 and 21 come on, which will be Ava Crow and Tegan Canning. But we'll keep an eye out there to see if we're missing.
Kayla Madding is on the field as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she'd come on already. We'll work all that out in a moment anyway. We'll keep you updated with the action as Clodagh McIntyre has the ball. Or had the ball anyway. Aoife Donoghue now, the other number 12, looked like she had control. And it breaks out there and is played along the ground for Galway. Roisin Black pushing up the field. Caoimhe McCarthy offloads it to Clodagh McIntyre. Clodagh McIntyre to Emer McGrath. Two key players out the field trying to get the space. Tipperary looking for that goal that might save this game in the National Camogie League. This is an opportunity for the number 18. I think it is number 18 who put that ball over the bar. That would be... No, it's actually Caoimhe Stakelum, my apologies. Caoimhe Stakelum, the number 13, puts the ball over the bar, and it's now back to 112 to 12 points. So one more, you can hear the Tipperary supporters saying. One more to save this game. Galway looking for one more that could get them over the line. Carrie Dolan with the ball. Can she get it up the second time? She can indeed. Tries to get inside. That's Isabel O'Donnell in front of us. Caoimhe Stakelum got the point. The pass in for Niamh Mallon. Niamh Mallon has also worked hard for Galway in this game. Lots of contenders for player of the match. And a good bat down there on that occasion by Emma Carey, a Tipperary defender, from the attempted effort by Tegan Canning. And it's going to be a Galway line ball for Carrie Dolan. 2 minutes in injury time. Will she consider going for a 2-pointer, Imelda?
Probably within her range, again, I suppose, if you can judge the breeze.
So this is just outside the 20-metre line on the left. The angle is very, very acute. We didn't quite hear how much at a time is going to be played in this game, but it's Galway 112, Tipperary 12 points. You'll want to find a Galway player anyway, and the pass goes down to Mairead Dillon. Mairead Dillon now, I think Mallon is there for the return pass as well. Mairead Dillon, it's won by Tipperary, and it looked like it was Emer Heffernan that did enough there, and a shot in the post in his carry, but Dolan puts the ball over the bar, and that should be the score there now for Galway. You can see Carrie Dolan on your screen gets the point. Galway lead by 4, 113 to 12 points.
Yeah, great score there in fairness by Carrie Dolan, working really hard in this second half.
How much more time is left in this game? Is there time for Tipperary to get 2 scores and avoid a second defeat in the National Camogie League? There's still plenty of time in the course of this campaign. Tipperary are next up against Cork next week. That's an away game, and then they host Waterford in the final round. Galway are heading to Antrim next week before they host Cork in their final game on March the 21st. The number 21 on your screen, Roisin Howard, leaves it for Emer McGrath, and Emer McGrath, she will probably drop this in, trying to get that goal that will give us a grandstand finish. 3 minutes of injury time have been played here, and Emer McGrath getting ready to take this ball. She's going to drop it in towards the house. We'll keep a good eye on this to see if somebody from Tipperary can get a touch, or even somebody from Galway gets it away. They haven't quite cleared it. The Galway side, Tipperary have bodies, but who's there to create the goal scoring opportunity to save this game? It's Galway 113, Tipperary 12 points, and again a scramble for the ball, and who, it's hard to see from the scrum there in front who has it. I can see a Tipperary stick one moment and a Galway stick, but the referee Liz Dempsey says enough is enough, and Galway have beaten Tipperary by 113 to 12 points. An important result for Galway, disappointment for Tipperary. We'll be talking more about this contest at the end of the game, but Imelda Hobbins, first things first, the players that impressed you for both teams and your overall Camogie Association, Centra Camogie Association player of the match.
Yeah, in fairness, I suppose Emer McGrath there from Tipperary having a great game, getting some great scores. Some of them didn't go her way, but I think a lot of that was trying to judge the breeze. Caoimhe McCarthy there as well, and in fairness to Sarah Corkin, she's gone off there. I thought she played very well, and indeed Mary Burke. Then again for Galway, I suppose Carrie Dolan again, outstanding, I suppose, in fairness, really coming into the second half. Shannon Corcoran, in fairness as well, had a great game. And Katie Mannion, I thought, fought very hard in the backs as well, coming out with a lot of ball. But in fairness, I think Ciara Hickey is the player of the game, because she just, especially in the first half, she came out with ball after ball, and again in the second half, bursting down, getting in vital touches, I suppose, all through, getting hooked, and she's not afraid to get into the rut, she's not afraid to work hard, and I think, Galway have been struggling really for centre back since Trace Maher, I suppose, and I think this could be the answer for Galway.
Ciara Hickey is the Centra Camogie player of the match. We'll hear from her and the winning manager, Cathal Murray, in just a couple of moments, so don't go away here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel in association with Entry. We'll be back in a couple of minutes time with reaction. Galway beat Tipperary by 113 to 12 points. Thank you very much and welcome back there. And you would have just seen the Centra Camogie Player of the Match receiving her award there from Imelda Hobbins. I don't know if you've done that already, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Ciara, I'll just get how you wait there for a moment. Congratulations. A lot has gone on over the last couple of weeks, but most importantly in the Galway side of things, you got your first victory of this year's Centra Camogie League.
Yeah, we were delighted. We knew we'd have to bring a huge intensity coming down here to get over the line, and happily we did, yeah, thank God.
What was the breeze like out there? Because Tipperary would have dominated the early stages, but they were applying an awful lot of pressure. But I suppose, like anything, you just dealt with what was coming and took stock at half time.
Yeah, we knew there was a strong breeze, so we kind of said if we were thereabouts at half time, then when we're with the wind we'll be able to push on. So that's what we did.
In the second half there, like the other end of the field there, first and foremost, he got going. Shannon Corcoran landing a few big scores. Niamh Nyland on target, Carrie Dolan, Niamh Mallon. But again, you were just starting to take control of that half-back midfield section and make sure the supply went down the field. Yeah,
in fairness, the girls were super. Like, any time we looked up in the half-back line, you know, Shannon and Cueva, Carrie, Nyland, they were all making the runs out, so it made our job easy.
I mentioned a lot has gone on. We're not going to talk about trying to get home from New York or things like that, but you know, you still have played a couple of games. You'll be disappointed to have lost a couple of matches, and again, just to get up and running in 2026, I suppose the year for Galway really starts now.
Yeah, we were disappointed after the first two games, but yeah, like we're just happy to get the win now, and all we can do is drive it on for the next two games and hopefully come out the right side and get good performance in.
One more question before I let you go, because it is getting nippy here. I can feel it myself. A long trip up to Antrim next week, and we know that, well, Antrim would have probably come in as outsiders at the start. Their victory against Cork in the last round goes to show that's not going to be an easy task.
No, not at all. Yeah, we've heard a lot about Antrim. They had some great performances there, especially against Cork, and we know it won't be easy going up there. So yeah, we'll have to put the shoulder to the wheel again, I suppose.
Well, Ciara, you're the Centra Camogie Player of the Match. Congratulations. I'll let you go back in, and well done on that. And we'll get the Galway manager Cathal Murray over here in just a moment. He's just chatting to his management team there as well. So as that comes in, to let you know, Waterford have beaten Antrim and Cork have beaten Kilkenny. So in the other games there as well, we'll go through the tables when we chat with Imelda in just a couple of moments. So we're just waiting for the Galway manager there as well. Of course, the work never stops with a team, but we'll just get Cathal over here very, very quickly. I know, Cathal, you want to go down to the other side there as well. But Cathal, as I said to Ciara, I know a lot's gone on the last couple of weeks, but at the end of the day you want results, and finally you got your first victory of this year's league.
Oh yeah, listen, really, really good performance. I think it's the first time we come down here since 2019 and won. You know, we came down here in 2022 and 23 and lost both games and got bullied and got hockey, to be honest with you. And you know, I suppose our backs to the wall this moment as regards the league, but look, all we can do is look after ourselves and try our best to get to 6 points. And if we get 6 points in, if the likes of Kilkenny or Waterford are good enough to get to 8, they're good enough to get to 8, and that means we're out of it. But listen, we want to win all the games, and today was going to be a huge test after, you know, we were poor last week. You know, obviously there's excuses for it, but there's no excuse today, and we just wanted to come down and put in performance, and I think we did that.
It's a test of resolve, as you touched on there as well, because I know you were disappointed with your two previous performances, but you come down here to a place that we don't have a good league record in, and the first half there was a bit of a wind out there, but Tipperary certainly probably were the bearer of the exchanges, and you managed to keep yourselves in the contest.
Oh yeah, and that's what we spoke about, you know, before the game, and we spoke about it just before the try-in again, just about keeping in the game, and you know, that comes down to work rate, and it comes down to aggression, it comes down to your attitude, and look, I thought our forwards, our half forward and our midfield were incredible today, you know, the amount of work they got through, and look, we battened down the hatches in the first half. We were really happy going in, you know, a point down at half time. You know, our first 10 minutes in the second half was really, really good. You know, we probably left a few scores behind it as well, but you know, we were really good, put a lot of pressure on the tip book out, and listen, there's a savage breeze there, but listen, it was a good performance. We're not getting carried away. It's good to have 2 points or 3 points on the board, but again, you have to go up to Antrim now next week, and that's another tough challenge, and you know, go about that game, and look, as I said, all we can do is try and win our 3 games and try and keep ourselves in the league, but that's going to be tough now.
But in one way too, you'll welcome the fact that you were forced to work hard. You're forced to work hard every game, I know, but from the start, you know, in fairness, both teams were allowed to get involved in the mixes and all that as well, and that's what you wanted to see, a response from the disappointment, especially of losing to Waterford last week.
Oh yeah, we got a response for everyone. Listen, I talked about Carrie there in the huddle, you know, she missed a lot of frees last week, and you know, comes out today then and nails every one of them, you know, and that's what you need. You need them players stepping up, and listen, we knew today was a big big day for us. It's very strange for us to go about losing 3 games in a row. It hasn't happened for a while, and we didn't want that to start today. We got our year back on track, I suppose, and we showed that we're a good team. And listen, we got some really, really good performance in there from players getting their chances. Like Shannon Corcoran was excellent in the full forward line. And listen, we're happy, but I suppose we've given ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb as regards the league. But listen, we're really happy with that performance, and if we can build on that, we'll be really happy going forward.
I just want to ask you about 3 players, 2 or 3 questions, and I'll let you go. You mentioned Shannon Corcoran, especially in the second half. What a performance from her, getting 3 scores, setting up another 1 or 2 as well. And it's great to see those options in attack.
It's great to see them options, and listen, we've other players I'm sure that'll be getting chances in the next few weeks, and that's what you want, there's responsibility on players to, when they get a Galway jersey, when they get a start, that they take that opportunity. And Shannon took her opportunity today, and a few more players did really well last week, and there's more players that'll do well next week hopefully. So as I said, we're really happy with the performance more than anything else. That's who we target as the performance down here, and as I said, gets our league back on track, but we still have an awful lot of work to do, and we'll see how things goes, and as I said, all we can do is get to 6 points if we're good enough to do that.
Carl, it would be remiss of me not to mention Aoife Donoghu's goal. There's 2 interviews, we haven't even brought it up yet. It was a break the goal we needed, but again it shows the experience. Niamh Mallon as well, sending the ball across, but a goal got you right back in the game.
I got us right back in the game, and listen, that was at the time when Tipperary were well on top. There were 6 points to 1 up at the time, and we were kind of plugging holes or trying to plug them, and it was really, it was obviously a shot for a point, but it's snuck in. And listen, you need them. You need that bit of luck. No matter what game you win, you need a small bit of luck, and we got that. But listen, our second half performance was excellent, I thought, and as I said, we just build on that, and we'll see how next week goes.
Final one, I'll let you go in, Carl, because of course the games are coming thick and fast. 4 weeks in a row. Next week is the 3rd one, the long trip up to Antrim, and we know from their result against Cork, even if it didn't happen from them today, there's no guarantees in Cushendall.
Listen, Elaine Downs is back there, and she's doing a great job, and even today I think they're really, really competitive against Waterford, and they were competitive against Tipperary, I think, for 50 minutes of that game. So that's still going to be a tough challenge, and it's still one that we're going to have to take. We won't take lightly. We need to go up there, we need to get a good result, and listen, logistically and all that, we have to get that sorted. It is a long journey up, but listen, it is what it is. We're actually looking forward to the challenge, and it's a great opportunity to build on today. So that's the plan, and we're just not looking past Monday night now training, and Monday, Wednesday needs to be good at training, and we look at the weekend, and when the weekend comes around. Well,
God, we'll let you go do that. Well done, and congratulations on the victory. That's the Galway manager, Carl Murray, there, and we're just waiting. We'll get Imelda back here in a moment just to wrap up our coverage here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel. But of course, we said at the very start of the broadcast it was going to be a massive day in the Centra Camogie League. Waterford have beaten Antrim, Cork have beaten Kilkenny, and now Galway have beaten Tipperary. Imelda Hobbins, our co-commentator there. Imelda, first things first, you just push over there a small bit there. We'll keep the sponsors happy, as to say. A big result for Galway first and foremost, as we mentioned there. They came out of the blocks at the start of the second half, and they got their first victory of the season.
Yeah, and in fairness, I think the start of the game, Tipperary hit Galway with everything they had, and Galway did struggle for sure in the first half, but I think you could see when they came out in the second half there was a different team coming out, and I suppose sometimes when your back is against the wall, that's the only thing you can do is come out fighting, and I think that's exactly what they did. And Shannon Corcoran really getting that point to set them off in the second half. I think they got into a flow then, Darren, and then I think it was Tipperary who struggled to get the ball down to get their scores. I suppose a lot of it was to do with the breeze. In fairness, there was a strong breeze here. You could see both teams struggled against the breeze, but I think overall, both teams would be happy with their performance overall.
Galway, we mentioned at half time in the commentary that Galway were struggling with scoring chances, and of course that breeze, even feeling it down here now, they were down on the pitch side there too. It looks a bit stronger than it probably was at the very start of the game there as well, but Galway were still in the game at half time, even if Tipperary were the better side in the first half. We heard Colin Murray describe their second half performance was excellent, but they took control of the contest in those opening exchanges, getting 5 points in a row. Yeah,
and I think in fairness to Galway in the first half, they really struggled to break down Tipperary's half-back line to get a pass. They were struggling at midfield a little bit as well. Tipperary seemed to be winning all that ball, winning the breaks, and Galway just couldn't seem to get it off the ground. I think in fairness to them, in the second half, they got into a flow. They got into, I suppose, the rhythm that they were used to playing, all of last year. And once the scores started coming off, again, the confidence started to build, naturally enough, Darren, as well, when the scores started coming. And you could just see, I think, as the game was going on, they were getting more and more confident.
to give Tipperary their due, even if some scores didn't happen for them. And of course Galway were turning over the ball more, like Tipperary were doing in the first half. They kept the game honest. It was only, I suppose, when Carrie Dolan got that late score at the end that we could finally say that Galway were over the line.
100%, and in fairness, we made comments, and through the commentary there, the passion, the encouragement, I suppose, that Tipperary were giving each other to get the scores, to get a victory. You could see the hunger, that they had. And like you said, it just came down to the wire, and it was always, I suppose, going to be, like that. We've seen it any time that Tipperary and Galway have come up, especially down here in the Rag. We've seen, Tipperary always put up a good performance here against Galway in the Rag. And, again, today was no different.
Tipperary will be disappointed to have lost this game. They would have targeted trying to get a second victory. We'll talk about the league table before we finish up. What will James Heffernan be looking back in that game and saying to his team now? Because they were the better team in the first half, and granted the Galway goal had an element of luck to it in one way, but they still left a few wides behind them, and as hard as they worked, they only led by a point at the break.
Yeah, and I suppose in fairness, Aoife Donoghue's goal for Galway there in the first half, I suppose it just came really as an opportunity. Aoife was going for a pint, I'm sure, and I suppose that again is sport. Probably rattled Tipperary for a little bit, they came back into it. But I think overall that they will be looking at this, like Galway at the end of the day are All-Ireland champions, and I know that they're just back, from their holiday as well, getting back into it, but they are All-Ireland champions, and I think any day that you put up a performance like Tip did today against an All-Ireland champions, I think they'll be happy there.
The first half against Kilkenny aside, Tipperary have put in a good solid showing in the 3 games of the league so far, and there was an element of win that day too when they suddenly found themselves 11-2 down after Kilkenny barely scored in the opening quarter as well. So as disappointed as they will be now, and to let their proud record in the Rag go, because Galway hadn't won here in 7 years' time, Tipperary can look up. 2 big games coming up, including away to Cork next week. Yeah,
in fairness, that's what you have to do as well. Today is over now, and you have to focus on what's coming up, and on the will. And like we said as well, during the league, it's all about using players, isn't it? It's not always about maybe getting a victory, I find. And I think that's the kind of attitude that managers have as well. They want to use as much players. They want to try out different positions. And of course, I'm not saying they don't go out to win. Of course they go out to win, but a lot of it is about building your team, about finding out who's going to play where for the championship. And that's what Tipperary are going to be focused on now as well for the next day. They'll regroup after this. They'll say, look, at the end of the day, we played the All-Ireland champions, we gave it a good shot, we've got to focus on the next day.
2 big games against Munster rivals for them coming up. Just going back to Galway for a moment, Antrim, we'll go to the table before we finish. Going up to Cushendall, we believe the game is taking place. That's going to be a tough task for them, especially now with Galway, because they only played Waterford last week. It'll be the 3rd of 4 weeks in a row, next week's game against Antrim, and that's going to have a telling impact too.
Yeah, of course it will, and I always find as well, it is hard to get back into they don't really get a break now, it's the year is long, in fairness to them, and I know that Galway have played, obviously they've won the All-Ireland, they did have a break, but it just seems to be around very quick, and they're trying to get their momentum going. And I suppose Antrim on the other hand are kind of probably just looking at the games and saying, look, at every team is giving a good shot at Galway, like we want to give a shot, like when you're All-Ireland champions, I suppose you're there to be knocked as well, Jared, and that's what Antrim is going to be thinking. And it's probably easier to get psyched up for that than the likes of Galway. They have a long trip ahead of them as well. It's going to be a tiring trip, so they'll have it all to do there as well.
Let's look at that league table before we go, and we did say it's probably the most exciting National Camogie League in recent years, because Waterford in a very, very good position to make a league final. 3 wins out of 3. They have stepped up, they have beaten Cork, they have beaten Galway, and they made no mistakes today, beating Antrim by 115 to 9 points. I'm just trying to do the maths in my head because I don't have it in front of me, but Kilkenny, their defeat to Cork today, Waterford have 9 points. I correct myself, it's 3 points for a win in Camogie. Kilkenny have 6 points. They're still in second place despite that defeat today, and in 4 teams all on 3 points: Tipperary, Galway, Cork and Antrim. As happy as Galway will be today to get a victory, and Colin Murray's talking about trying to make league finals, and no doubt James Heffernan, if we were talking to him, would say the same thing. There's still that little relegation battle still to be done.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose it's funny you see that Galway and Cork after playing in the All-Ireland final are like on the bottom, if you like, now of the league, but that's just the way it goes, I suppose. And Waterford doing very well, like you said, and but I suppose it'll be all about championship at the end of the day there.
But they'll still want to stay in Division 1A because even just the fixtures next week, Cork against Tipperary, Galway against Antrim. I think it's nearly safe to say, I know scoring difference comes first in Camogie ahead of head-to-head, but those games next week are number one for survival and still keeping an eye on getting to the league final especially, which is another important game. I don't know how they're going to pick the live game next week because Kilkenny against Waterford, a top of the table clash.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose that will be the focus as well, as you say, get to the league final and of course trying to avoid relegation. But it's probably like it's everything else. It's all as the league goes on and as the momentum goes. You'll see the likes of Waterford now have been winning their 3 games. They look the team. It could all take a U-turn now again, and it could be somebody else. So.
There's definitely more twists and turns to come with Mela Hobbins. Thanks a million for joining myself, Darren Kelly, here in the commentary box. And our thanks to Owen from Entry behind the mic there. As we said, their Galway have picked up their first victory in 7 years in the RAG in the Centra National Camogie League and have made the table even more interesting. Waterford are top of the table, looking good for a league final, but they're not over the line yet. And even though 4 teams have lost 2 games already, they could still move up to a final place next month as well. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the game here and also our other game available on the Camogie Association YouTube channel between Antrim and Waterford. 2 great contests, and no doubt we'll have another 1 or 2 for you next week here in association with Entry. Again, thank you very much for joining us. For Tipperary, disappointment to lose at home. For Galway, their first victory of 2026. They are the winners, and the final score here in the RAG in the Centra National Camogie League. It finished Galway 113, Tipperary 12 points.